Hello YouTube world and Facebook world, this is Minnesota Sports Guru 88. I just got back from watching Titanic in 3D, and well, it's okay. I know it's the same movie as you saw in 97, except it's in a 3D format. Well, I have to say is that the 3D format, some parts were okay, some parts weren't, because some parts looked 3D to me, some parts didn't. Some parts really weren't convincing to me. Well, I also had to remember that it was converted from its 2D format to a 3D format. So, if I ever watch, in my opinion, I think I had to say I still love the 2D format the most, even though it's the same movie. But it's just that they added some 3D stuff to it, a 3D look to it. Like the only part I didn't get to see because nature called me, I had to answer it. The only part I didn't see was the corset scene where Trudy and then Rose's mom comes and puts the rest of the corset on her. But fortunate enough, I was lucky to see the church scene, and I must say some parts of it were, like for instance at the beginning where they do the diving. It was awesome seeing some of those particles fly out at you. But when you saw some of the sinking parts, some of the water did fly out. But when you saw like the splitting and when it was far away, there really wasn't much of a 3D effect on it. But now the scene where Jack draws Rose, well, I actually really don't care for that scene that much. Well, I'll watch it, but well, I do remember I can't remember the first reaction of me seeing it when I was there in theaters this time, but the first time it came to theaters. But well, basically, I'm mostly able to handle it whenever I watch it at my hut, watch it here. But I must say that basically, I don't know, for some reason, I got a chill down my back. But still, I still took the scene. I tried taking the scene more like a boss, but I don't know. I just had that chill down my back, but still, it still looked more the same to me, except with the 3D formatting of it. But if you were wondering if Cameron added some of those deleted scenes into this version, he didn't. He kept it more as the same as you would have seen it in the theaters back then when he first released it. So I have to say well, with Star Wars, I wasn't able to see Star Wars Episode 1 in 3D because my theater in town didn't have the 3D equipment at the time. But when I'm gonna try to see it. But I'm looking forward to when Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars, comes out. I mean, the Attack of the Clones comes out next year. So I'm looking forward to that. Well, despite the fact that changes that Lucas makes, I still think it's Star Wars. So you never know. Every time where Lucas releases out a version, you never know what you're gonna get. But so for my rating on Titanic 3D, it was 50% okay, 50% disapproved. But I still think it's still just as classic as it is. But 2D format is always, I always will prefer the 2D format over this 3D format of it, but you gotta understand. I gotta quit repeating myself because as you know, well, I know it's not worth repeating, but as I remember in a pastor at a church service I was going to, well, even after the Apostle John in some of his epistles, after he would do something, he would go back to the same part of it again. But as I say, just remember when you go seeing Titanic 3D, you gotta remember that it's not always gonna look like what you expect, but it's still okay. It's still the same old classic. So, peace.